Welcome to the West Ham Oi Show with me, Afka Sparrow on Irons United. What a week it's been in the West Ham world. Yes, we were all feeling a little bit positive after the defeat to Liverpool, but a great performance nonetheless. And we went into the game against Southampton feeling a little bit, full of it really, don't we? In fact, all the way to the stadium, on the train, I was feeling, we could get this 3-0, 4-0, I was thinking. But as soon as I got to the stadium, to the supporters club, because that's where we hang out at Irons United, I was feeling a little bit, not so sure. Let us know in the comments below and in the chat, what were you feeling before the game? Were you feeling positive, or were there kind of lingering doubts starting to creep into your thinking? Anyway, I was pushing away all the negativity from those around me. I was saying, no, we were going to win. And I was kind of being infectious, I think. Just a little bit like the coronavirus. I was spreading myself all around. And I was spreading my positivity around. And people will start to think like me, yes, we're going to win. We're going to win. And that's exactly what happened, wasn't it? We won against Southampton, and actually quite convincingly. And just like Mark Noble said, after the game, he could feel something in the air as we were all singing bubbles, that the crowd were going to get behind them, and so we did. Big shout out to all those guys who were protesting before the game. The 5,000 strong. Look, they did what they were supposed to do, and they kept it civil, and they were protesting for a good cause. But they kept it outside of the stadium for the most part, which is all good stuff. Back the team, not the regime, and all that kind of good stuff. But my point is that in the stadium, all the fans, we were right behind the team, and that's the way it should have been. So let's get on to the game. Let's know in the comments as well, what you thought, as kick-off as well. Were you really feeling up for it? Do you think we were going to beat them? Do you think Southampton, were going to pose more of a threat than they actually did? I wasn't so sure myself. But anyway, I was going from highs and lows, being positive, then negative, and then, we started off, and I thought we started off pretty good actually. But let's not dispel Southampton. They had their moments as well. But look, we took our goal. Bowen, I think he made all the difference really. But it wasn't just him. He got man of the match. Let's know if you think he should have had man of the match. I'm not so sure. I thought there was a couple of other players who had a good shout as well, but I was happy with it nonetheless. But him, Haller, Antonio, the Holy Trinity. Can we call them a new Holy Trinity going forward, at the front there? Ably supported by Fornals, who was actually making up a great attacking quartet going forward. And that made all the difference. Bowen's full of running, wasn't he? He was making runs off the ball. He was getting quite close to Haller, as was Antonio, so he was getting the flick-ons, and there was somebody there to receive it. It seemed to be working. All the stuff that we've been talking about for weeks and weeks about Haller, being lethargic and lazy, but that, we always acknowledge that you need players next to him as well. And guess what? A little spring in his step. Who knew he could run? He was running a bit like Eric Liddell, head back, going for it. Yeah, and those of you who don't know who Eric Liddell is, just look back in time to the turn of the century and people who were running around tracks and Olympics and all that sort of stuff. You know who I mean. Chariots of Fire, that's the one. Right, anyway, but he was running like that, giving it all, as was Bowen. He was doing it, and Antonio, he just runs all the time, doesn't he? Antonio, what a man mountain he is. He goes from being, full of energy, and then you think, God, is he spent? Then he picks up again, and then he's spent again. I think that's just the way he was the whole game. But he was getting down the wing. He was putting some great crosses in as well. As I always say, crosses. Just keep on getting them in the box. A few times, dare I say it, that it wasn't just Antonio, but other players were hesitating a little bit about getting the crosses in. Get the ball in and force the attackers, whoever it is we got in there, to go and press the ball and go and attack the ball. That's what Haller's there in the first place. Get the ball into him and get him a knock down. Look, a couple of times he got it on his head. went into the keeper, a couple went wide, but you know, we're getting there. Attacking wise, I thought we were really good. You know, are we better? Are we better going forward? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell next to the subscribe button for all the future videos, because we're doing loads of videos now and loads of live videos as well, so we can engage with you directly in the chat as well. But let us know in the comments and the chat, were we better going forward? I personally think we were, but Haller, he had his moment as well. You know, went in, won in with a keeper, you know, bundled the keeper over basically, won that fair and square. The keeper was slow to react, he wasn't, and how did he get that goal in from such an acute angle? But it was great. Was it luck? Was it by design? Who cares? It went in. We're all singing, we're all dancing, you know, people around me were hugging me. Strangers were hugging each other. You know, we're all laughing, we're all singing. You know, we're all singing the praises of Ngakia. We're all singing Jeremy, Jeremy. And then we're all looking at each other going, who's Jeremy? Who is Jeremy? We don't care. We don't care. We know it's your name, Jeremy and Ngakia. But, you know, we were kind of going, who is he? Who is he? But anyway, we're all laughing, we're all singing, we're all happy. Even when Southampton got their equalising goal, you know, they had their moments. They had their moments. On another day, they could have got a few goals themselves. You know, we were letting them down on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, you know, once too often as well. They got a few crosses in. They had a fair share of possession as well. But we held strong defensively. Diop had his moments, but Ogbonna, man mountain, I thought. Fabianski redeemed himself, had a great game as well. A solid game. A solid game. Let's put it that way. Ngakia, who we're all singing, Jeremy, Jeremy, well, whatever his name is, you know, because Ngakia just don't kind of rhyme, does it? Anyway, but, you know, he, again, youthful experience, youthful enthusiasm. He had a few moments where he was out of position, I've got to say. He was a little bit late to the party, letting runners go past him, but he recovered well. Again, head back, you know, he's got an odd running style. You know, you watch him, he's a bit of an odd running style when he's chasing the ball down. But like, he was making it difficult. He was getting tackles in. He's, you know, putting the ball out, you know, when he needed to. As was Diop, you know, he was covering as well. You know, He's a young lad, but he's filling those shoes really, really well. And he's got pace as well. So, you know, he's enthusiastic going forward, but he's learning his trade back there as well. So, great stuff. Rice and Noble in the middle. Rice just did a great job, I think. You know, nothing too flamboyant, nothing too fancy, but he just did a great job. Noble, and I said this before the game, I just don't think Noble should be dropped. I just think he needs to be rested. He looked a bit tired at times. Whilst there was lots of work rate coming from him, he was involved in a lot of things. He was giving the ball away a few times, but making up for it with other, you know, bits of play as well. But I gotta say, towards the end of the game, he was lunging in there a little bit. He was getting a few tackles in, and you think, oh, you know, you got to be careful here. You know, I still think possibly he's either better to be taken off at 50, 60 minutes or to come on at 50, 60 minutes as well. I'm not sure a full 90 minutes, week in, week out, is good for dear old Nobes. Look, he's even said himself, he needs some help back there. But, you know, a great game nonetheless. You know, our Mr. West Ham, our captain, he led us as a captain's performance, but I think every player within the team stepped up a little bit, and that was good. It was good to see Snoddy come on and do some, you know, great work as well. Anderson came on, didn't really have much of an effect. I've got to say, I suppose, whilst I don't want to really have a go at Cresswell, he did have it wasn't an amazing performance, let's put it that way. I don't want to be too negative, but he, you know, look, he made a few misplaced passes. You know, it was just positional, wasn't wrong. You know, it wasn't all right. They were getting past him a few times. He let a ball come right across him in the 6-yard box, and it was just lucky that Southampton player right behind him just didn't latch onto it, because that could have, you know, easily been, you know, another equalising goal for them. They weren't on fire, I've got to say, Southampton. We were. We stepped up, they didn't, you know, let's face it. But let us know, what do you think of Southampton's performance? Do you think they could have posed a bigger threat? In fact, I thought they were going to have a bigger threat than they actually were. But, you know, we were better. We outplayed them. We didn't outplay them in possession, but we put away our chances. You know, as simple as that. But look, I've got to say, a big shout out to for this player here. You probably can't see it with all the shine on this paper, but Pablo Fornals. See, like my Spanish is coming on, isn't it? I thought he had a brilliant game as well. Great play. You know, that ball, he just looped over the top for Antonio's, the third goal, Antonio's goal, which is great. In fact, I've got to say, those of you who are around me, you might have noticed that I might have just missed that goal. In fact, quite a few of us we kind of missed the goal initially because we were kind of all looking at other parts of the pitch. And we were kind of looking around in a bit of a daze. I think it was that pink goalkeeper's kit from Southampton that was distracting us anyway. But then I thought, oh, we scored, and then we had to look back on the big screen, the biggest screen in the nation, and all that kind of stuff, to see that Antonio scored. And what a great goal it was! But great pass from Fornals. Look, and Haller had a great game in terms of his knockdowns, and he was trying to, split the defences and, get the ball under control and feed in Antonio. I think if Moyes can actually work on this Haller, Antonio and Bowen a lot more with a good creative player in behind, Fornals, Anderson, whoever it might be, then leave the defending to a Rice and Soucek, when he comes back. Noble there as well, whether he plays the full game or not. But, continue to try and be more solid in defence. Ngaki, I think, is great. Fredericks is out for a long time now. I think Ngaki, just leave him there now. Just nurture him. Just keep on, feeding him a game time, and let's leave Zabaleta on the bench unless we absolutely need him. Creswell, I thought was, again, he didn't have a great game, but overall he's been solid. So I think, we need to just positively reinforce him as well. We've got the players. We've got tough games ahead of us, haven't we? And we're all thinking, God, the next match is a must-win match, but it was a great performance and it's a great result to get those 3 points, and it took us out of the bottom three. The problem is that Watford afterwards, they got their win against Liverpool. I knew they were there for the taking. So that compressed it from the bottom, so they're on level points with us. Now then, we're all hoping, I was hoping, God, I can't believe I was even saying it, that, hoping that Crystal Palace beat Brighton, and they did. That compressed it from the front, from the top, so that made it a little bit easier for us in many ways, in those teams around us. But it's so tight. It's, goal difference time now. Can we get a result against Arsenal? Well, I'm of the belief that if we go out with attacking intent, with Bowen, Haller, Antonio, with a Fornals, and maybe an Anderson as an able substitute, we've got a better chance as if we try and sit back and absorb the pressure, because they'll rip us apart. I think we've got to go at them, put them under pressure, and I think, we might have a little bit of a bit more joy. But look, we're going to have more videos coming out. We're going to have more live chats coming out this week. We're going to have the previews for the game. We're going to have match day reports, pre-game, after game, and at game sort of stuff coming up as well. So if you like all the stuff that we're doing, tell all your friends, get them to come over here to Irons United, subscribe, that button thing and that bell thing, because you get all notifications of all the future videos as well, and all the live streams that we'll do. But tell everybody to come over. If you want to meet us on match day at home games especially, we're at the Supporters Club just outside the stadium, next to that orbital thing, slidey thing. Just outside the stadium. We're in the Supporters Club, just on the top level of the last drop. So basically you have to go round the back of the pub building, as it were, but it's almost opposite, always directly opposite the entrance to that orbital. Go to the entrance of the orbital and look behind you, and you'll see like a doorway that goes into upstairs, and a couple of burly bouncers to welcome you in with a smile, because they always will do that. Anyway, so that's where we'll be. You come and say hello to us before and after the game. We are a friendly bunch. We never say boo to a goose or whatever the term is, but we're always happy to see everybody, especially if you like Irons United, because that's really cool anyway. But look, as you can tell, I'm Mr. Positive today. I'm Mr. Happy. We had a great result. A little bit of a dampener because Watford, beat them. That's Liverpool, and that compressed the bottom of it. But as our performance, it was great. Our result was great. But for me, it was that attacking four, that Fornals, Antonio, Haller and Bowen. Bowen had a great game. Was he man of the match? For me, Fornals would have had not a much better shout, but just a justifiable. But look, I'm not going to take it away from Bowen at all. I thought he had a great game. But hopefully he can do a little bit more. Hopefully he can prove Moyes wrong in that he's more than just a championship player, and he may be more than able to save us from relegation. Is Moyes still the man for the job? Did he get this tactically right to, go slow against Man City and Liverpool and save all his might for Southampton? I'm not so sure. Maybe a bit more luck than design there on his part. But look, we got the result. Let's see if we can carry this momentum to Arsenal. Let us know what you think about Moyes. Did he get it right? Could he improve? Where could he improve? Where are we still vulnerable? That's the key thing. Where are we still vulnerable? Anyway, look, I could keep on rabbiting on for ages. I'm just going to slurp more coffee. But look, as I say, we'll see you at the next games. We'll see you on more videos. As I say, please like, share, subscribe, hit that bell below, leave your comments, leave it in the chat. We'll be manning the chat as well. Join us all the live streams. If you want to appear on one of the videos, or if you want to appear on one of the live shows as well, send us an email via ironsunited.wordpress.com, by the website. And get in touch with us and introduce yourself and let us know what you're up to and what you like to do and what you like to talk about as well. And we'll try and get you on the shows as well. That's always really good, especially if you're around the world as well and you want to get on the show, get in on the action. We're always happy to speak to anybody, wherever you are. You West Ham fans, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter where you are, as long as you support our club. That's all that matters. If you don't support our club and you want to come and praise our club, then you're more than welcome as well. But anyway, until the next video, I don't know what I'm just going to keep on looking at Fornals because he's my pin-up boy for the day, for March actually. Right, catch you on the next video when there is. Say please like, share, subscribe, comments below, bell thingy bob, and I will catch you again, hopefully in person or on another video. Ta-da now.